All right.
Okay, so this is the mock apartheid wall. What it is a very small representation of the real apartheid wall that runs through Israel and Palestine. The wall violates UN resolution and international law. It separates Palestinians from other Palestinians, denying them, access to travel to work, to school, to places of worship, or even the hospital. That's even if they are allowed to go through the process at a checkpoint. It's a very harassing and tedious and long process. Many Palestinians are not allowed to access. If you have an Israeli passport, you can come and go very easily, but essentially the wall makes life very hard and segregated for the Palestinian people. So this is just a very small representation of the real apartheid wall, which is much larger. It has barbed wire around it. It's virtually impossible to get through. And painted on our wall are just a bunch of facts, statistics, numbers, and historical narratives that kind of educate people on the oppression of the Palestinian people. We dispel common myths that people might think. We have, numbers, quotes, dates, all kinds of stuff. Our most famous panel is the one about the shrinking map. The very core issue of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, as we call it, is the Israeli land grab and occupation. As you can see, in 1946, before the UN partition plan, the green represents all the Palestinian land, and gradually over time, illegal Israeli settlements have been being built on these lands. What happens to all the Palestinians? They're basically evicted out of their homes, and they have now, if they're not refugees and left the country, they're concentrated in Gaza and the West Bank, where in those areas, life is very hard. It's largely controlled by the Israeli military and government, where they're denied access to basic resources and basic human rights, such as, they're not treated equally under the law, they're denied access to clean water, electricity, and the right of return. My family is a Palestinian. I'm a first generation Palestinian, and my family has a hard time returning to that because we're not Israeli and we don't have Israeli passports. And that's just one of the many injustices that we face. Because, regardless of whose land you think it is, we can have that argument all day, but the reality of the issue is that there's no justification for the oppression of the Palestinian people by the Israeli government.
Great. Thank you very much.